Well, hello there. I got something to talk about today because I got to do it last week, and it was just a good reminder of tips and tricks and tools that we can do to kind of help people get out of their own heads. Right? How many times have you had a client come in and they knew exactly what was wrong with them and exactly what we needed to do to help them because they looked it up on Google, because Uncle Jimmy told them this is what they have going on, right? And oftentimes, people try and do their own research and they have no idea what's going on, and often it's totally wrong. So here's a really good example of a concept called like violating expectations, which I think is kind of an aggressive term, but the point across is this: when you can disrupt someone's thought process by sort of giving them a completely different outcome than they were expecting, they pay closer attention. Their arousal level increases, and they're a little more interested in maybe what you have to say as opposed to just dismissing it because they already know what's going on, right? So I'm going to show you this graph that I ripped from a class I took with Ben Cormack. Ben Cormack's a great educator. This was back at the San Diego Pain Summit circa 2017, let's say. And what you see here on the graph is this. You can see on the x-axis what we have is time, age in this case. And then on the y-axis, what we have is the prevalence of having some certain condition. Now this graph is looking at spinal conditions. And you can see as we get older, we have a higher likelihood of developing all these different types of spinal dysfunctions, whether it's arthritis or stenosis or bulging herniated disc, whatever it might be. So the client comes in, they're like, yeah, see, that's it right there. That's what I got going on. I told you. And I say, great. And then I highlight a little word at the top of this graph you'll see here, which is, these are people without pain. These are asymptomatic individuals. Just because you have, potentially, very likely, especially as you get older, one of these things, or maybe all of them, does not mean that you have to be living with pain. There is hope. There are things we can do. At the very least, let's give it a fair shot, right? So it's really great to help people get out of their own heads and become more of a willing participant in the therapeutic process, right? We need to do this together as a team. You can't just talk at me. I can't just talk at you. We have to kind of forge this relationship. So next time you're working with somebody and they know what's up, they're smarter than you, they have all the answers, think to yourself, how can I sort of get around this person's sort of wall they've put up, maybe violate their expectations a little bit, and that means you need to know your stuff, because it's hard to violate someone's expectations if you're not sure yourself, right? So make sure that you know what you're doing. Try and challenge them to think a little bit differently and see if we can get some better outcomes. So give it a shot. Let me know how it goes.